Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for January 11th. We are looking at the U.S.-Japanese yen pair. This particular pair closed down. It is overall moving sideways. We are looking for it to potentially go as high as 93.15, possibly as low as 91.25. Now look for some resistance around 92.75 and look for some support around 91.50. Okay, now looking at the Euro USD pair, this particular pair closed up today. It did break previous resistance, so it is moving, still moving sideways, but definitely has a bias to the upside. Look for this pair to potentially go as high as 146.24, possibly as low as 143.39. Look for some resistance around 145.85 and look for some support around 144.05. Okay, now the pound US dollar pair, this particular pair closed higher today. It did gap, has not completely filled that gap. There is an 89.1% chance that it will do so prior to Friday, so definitely keep that in mind. We are looking for this particular pair to continue moving sideways with a bias sideways. Look for it to potentially go as high as 62.42, possibly as low as 158.71. Now look for some resistance around 161.93 and look for some support around 160.25. Now let's take a look at the US Swiss. This pair moved lower, broke previous support, is moving lower with a bias to the downside. Look for it to potentially go as high, if it does reverse, go as high and hit resistance around 1.0239, possibly moving as low as 10159 and hitting support there. Now, what am I looking for over this next session? There's a couple of plays. We have a swing trade set up here in the U.S.-Japanese yen pair. You could definitely see that we have an area of support here that you could look for. Basically, that's about a 45 pip move if you look for it. There we go. So about a 42 pip move there in the US-Japanese yen pair. Now in the Euro USD pair, this particular pair, let me zoom out a little bit. There's a little bit of a window. We had a pretty decent pullback from this high here. The next area of resistance is right about there. We have roughly about 30 pips worth of movement that I think if the market does move higher that will zip up to, and at that point you could take 30 pips off the table in the Euro USD. Now the pound US dollar pair, this particular pair, the area between Monday's, this past session's low, and Friday's close, remember we have an 89.1% chance of the gap closing, so looking for it to break that and move on down would be probably a good bet. There's not that many pips. It's a scalp for sure, 19 pips, about 15 pips after spread, so this would be a quick little scalp to look for. Now in the US Swiss, we have somewhat of a window of opportunity. Basically, we have the low from yesterday's session, and then we have an area of support that should kick in, previous support and previous resistance that now should be support. And let's just throw some horizontal lines on there to take a look at what this looks like. Basically, looking to grab about 60 pips, 55 pips on that move. So look for a break of this low, go short, look to get out around here, around the 1.0075 area. As you can see, we've moved through that area within one session numerous times in the past, so we definitely have a window of opportunity there. Support and resistance, we should hit some support at this point. Well, that pretty much sums that up. We do have the pound releasing their gross domestic product estimates for December tomorrow no consensus as far as time and no consensus as far as the amount. The previous was 0.2%. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.